Hey y'all, welcome to Girl Meets Screen. My name's Norma, your host of What Up All, and let's get right into it. I don't have a lot of time. I'm in a stranger's home. Not a stranger, stranger to you. The kids are sleeping and I'm scared someone's gonna come up or down and see me doing this. But anyways, I just wasted a lot of time on that. But let's get into it. So, episode 22, Love Island, USA, season 7. Okay, so basically everyone's headed back to the villa. We're gonna recouple. And that's really all that happens this episode. So a couple of talking points, because so the beginning obviously is like the Casa Amor people and the Villa people talking about things, thinking about things, whatever. And so first thing we have is big thing to note for me is Olandria and Nick talking about the kiss they shared the day before, and basically they both feel like it was a good kiss, but they're just friends. They're like, oh, and the challenge is it's fun to link up and have some fun, but we're just friends, whatever. I feel like neither of them thought about Sierra at all. I'm very, very, very curious to see how Sierra takes that news, if they do tell her, whatever. Because Olandria, Nick doesn't surprise us, right? That man was going for every woman that walked in that villa as a bombshell. However, Olandria, her and Sierra were close, so it feels a little weird that she would just kiss her with no problem. They both were like, oh, we were just thinking about Sierra and Taylor the whole time, whatever. But I don't know about that. But I'm very curious to see the fallout of this, I guess. Maybe Sierra will take it well because it's Olandria, and she'll be like, yeah, obviously they were just playing the game or testing the recoupling or something. But I'm like, yeah, but what if they liked the kiss? What if it was a hit and they were a couple? That's still kind of jacked up. And it's funny though, because on the other side of that, I've been saying this fake sisterhood, this fake brotherhood, of not taking people's mans. However, I think there's a difference in people who are not stable and in a good place, quote unquote. And Sierra and Nick kind of were that. On Nick end's not really, because he was still trying to keep it open, but also trying to say you're my strongest connection, and I'm very close to closing. It's either close it or not and be quiet. However, they were stable in the sense that they're a good couple, right? They seem to get along very well, all of that. So stable footing. And so yeah, I feel in those cases, if you consider them friends, leave that couple alone. Olandria and Taylor, you could have broken that up. Everybody can see Taylor gonna want that woman, but we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Next thing to note is we have Houlda, Coulda, Shoulda. Goes and talks to Chris, who is Shelly's partner, the 6'7" guy. Just kind of being you paired off with her, you seem to be doing well, so I kind of tried to leave it alone. And he's like, no, yeah, you're attractive. I want to see it through with Shelly, but you're attractive, da-da-da. And I feel that was our inkling of what was going to happen there on site. But Shorty keeps I'm is she still continuing to have conversations with these men before having conversations with her friends? What's going on here? Then we have, okay, we get to see Taylor hanging out with Clark, Olandria yearning for Taylor completely oblivious to that and just having his fun with Clark. He gives her a sweater, he puts his sweater down for her to sit on. I ain't seen him do that for Olandria once, but anyways, besides the point. It's not besides the point, it's actually the point. He does not want Olandria. I've been saying that. Clark comes in the house, he's kissing her, he's laughing with her, he's cuddling with her, he's giving her kisses in the bed. Come on, y'all. They even had an actual make-out kiss. And I wish Olandria would have seen that. I feel it's where he went wrong. Taylor only kept up the whole oh, I'm exploring both options because Olandria said to him first, at least from what we saw, that I still want to explore this connection with you. I don't think that changes anything. I understand you have to explore, but I still want us to explore. I don't want us to let go of our connection because you just met someone. And that was another thing I didn't like when Clark pulls her for a chat or whenever she's speaking of Clark, it's oh, me and Taylor had to be put through this challenge, we'll get through this challenge. And it's ma'am, stop calling that woman a challenge. Which I think Clark says, right? She's I don't really like her referring to us as a challenge, but I get it. I'm not gonna lie, Olandria kind of turned into a little bit of a mean girl. And people were saying Clark did too. I saw a lot of commentary on her. I think she was just kind of it's clear Olandria might not have been giving the best energy towards her, so it's that matched with this is my man, this is what I want. So I get her side. Olandria was girl, what's going on? But anywho, in my notes, I have that Olandria does photo booth pictures for Taylor, like I guess some raunchy ones to give him. He looks like he could care less. He's showing Ace, I think it was. Like, what are you doing, sir? But again, silly of her. Like, I feel like, read the room. I feel like you could see that Taylor was not into you anymore at all. And to be like, oh, just letting our connection go over 3 days of a physical connection, you don't know that all they had was a physical connection. Like, why are you dragging that girl down like that? Drag that man down. Drag that man down for playing with you. But yeah, and like I said, that's where Taylor went wrong. I think he should have just straight up said, honestly, Olandria, I'm with Shorty, right? I'm locked in with Shorty right now. I don't have interest in exploring our connection. Because when you do see them like be pulled for chats or talk to each other, Taylor and Olandria, he just seems disinterested. He seems checked out. And I feel like she should have seen that. I mean, she should have seen that he didn't want her from day one. But I digress. Let's get into the recouplings. So the way they do this, they have these little like dry erase thingies. They put the name of the person they want to recouple with. And then each original member of the villa goes up one by one. And then they ask if anyone put them on their whiteboard. Those people will step up. If it's more than one, they'll each say why. And then the person will show who they picked, like the name. And that's who they'll recouple with. So first we have TJ. He chooses Iris. Him and Iris are together. We did see kind of a connection developing with them, so I am interested to see more on that. I thought it was nice that Iris was like, oh, I want to match with TJ, and we had already heard TJ saying he hopes that she's still on board with him, but he wasn't sure because it was a newer connection. Then we have Pepe and Grayson. Again, don't know too much about Grayson, but they look cute. I mean, she looks like a little and I love me some Pepe, so wishing Pepe the best with Grayson. Austin and Jaden, I feel like they both just trying to stay in the house. Because the minute Austin said that shit, when she was talking about her diabetes and her, crap, I forgot what it's called, G-Pack, whatever the heck, in the arm. And she tells him, like, I've only passed out, like, less than 5 times. Like, keeping her sugar high and all that. And he goes, yeah, I'm not responsible for anything. I would be passing out all the time. Not interested. Thank you. Major ick, major, like, done, good to go. So she's just trying to stay in the house. He's just trying to stay in the house. And that's how they vibing. Then we have Ace and Shelly. Ace was between Coco and Shelly, and he chose Shelly. They were really sweet to Coco. Coco was really sweet. I love that the women were like, you're gorgeous. Like, it was just so cute. We gonna talk about it. But yeah, he picks Shelly. Taylor picks Clark. Clark and Olandria step up. Taylor picks Clark. Everyone's like, what the heck? Everyone freaks out about him picking Clark. Why? He must have been faking the funk really good, because I don't understand how everyone's shocked or everyone's like, what, Taylor, what? Like, but again, this goes to the whole, like, it's just the OGs trying to keep each other in the house, which is like, that makes no sense. Like, make the show fun. This isn't fun. Like Shelly and Ace, I forgot to mention, they're not interesting as a couple. There's nothing going on there. Like, you're not seeing conversations of depth. You're not seeing interesting job. Like, they're just bleh. They're just there. So it shocks me seeing like commentary about how they're gonna win this. How? Why? What are they doing? And we have Nick and Sierra. Sierra gets up there. Elin and Nick come up for her. Of course she chooses Nick. We saw how the baby was crying. We saw the baby scoot away from Elin as the boys came in. Like, forget about it. Poor Elin didn't stand a chance. But he fought. And she should have picked him. Because when you see how he was over there acting, talking about, who was it, Jaden? No, Vanna? No, it was Jaden, because that's who was matched up with Austin, right? Or was it, whoever was matched up with Austin, it was Jaden. Didn't pick him or whatever, but he was like, I'm really interested in getting to know you. Yeah, I really want to. And then Olandria comes in. He's like, actually, I was vibing with you too. Ew, girl, you should have, she better pick Elon. That better be why that man stayed. Don't piss me off. Oh, I kind of ruined it, my bad. Amaya and Zach with a K. Zach with a K and JD, Huda's old pairing, come up and both want her. They give their reasons. She picks Zach with a K, which we love. I love Zach with a K. Listen, you guys, I am manifesting an Asian tall ass man in my life in a couple years. Quote me on that. But I love him. He's so sick and cute. My sister-in-law sent me a video of him like back in Thailand with his family, like eating and shit, and I was like, this is, you can't. It's just so cute. But yeah, Maya Papaya picks him. Okay, there's so many scenes where he seems like he's not interested in her, but I think it is editing. If I'm being real, I feel like it could be editing. Like maybe he is slightly like, ooh, she's a lot, but I feel like he still likes her, and I think editing is just being messy and trying to like display in a way of how the other guys have been talking about her, or the narrative of her being too much. You know what I mean? But that's just me. That is me. Next up, we have Huda and Chris. Chris was Shelly's Casa Amor pairing. Huda gets up there. I believe it was only Chris up there with Huda, and then they end up paired up, if I'm not mistaken. They seem interesting, and we didn't see a lot of them talking, so kind of like TJ and Iris, I'm just interested to see where that goes and what happens. And our last pairing is Brian and Andreina. I hope that is her name, because I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I don't think I am. But yeah, we have Brian and Andreina. We've seen a lot of physical chemistry. We haven't seen very many of them chatting or anything. We haven't seen Andreina for real. But they look very cute together. So again, another couple I'm interested just to see what they do in tonight's episode. All right, and so then we were left with Elin, Zach with a C, and JD. I hope that's his name. The one that was paired with the other tall guy. Mr. Puerto Rico, puñeta. I'm sorry, why would he do that? Anyways, and then the girls, we have Vanna, Coco, and Olandria. The Casa Amor people have to get together, pick the boy. The Villa people have to get together, pick the girl. Nick advocates for keeping Olandria, so they pick Olandria. Other side picks Elin. Obviously, we didn't see much of Zach with the C, if you ask me. And then JD was just a weirdo. I forgot to mention that whole him and Huda thing of him being like, you like to be dominant. You like to, and I don't want to be dominant. Sir, put the teeth away and stop being a weirdo. It was a challenge. I don't know that you could gauge anything from a challenge when y'all was trying to win and everybody was freaking pole vaulting onto each other for the challenge. What are you talking about? So yeah, those are the three. And yeah, so they pick Elin, they pick Olandria. Opinions. Elin, yes, definitely should have stayed. They better bring in bombshells and he finds somebody, because he's dope. Sierra should choose him. Hopefully when she finds out about the Nick thing, she does decide to choose Elin. Please, thank you. Goodbye. And then I really thought Nick was going home, man. See, this is why I don't think Nick and Olandria should have been allowed to come back, and it was useless. Nick and Olandria lived for like 5 minutes. Anyways, and then they picked Olandria. I feel like that was wrong. If I'm gonna be real with you, I feel like that was wrong. Shorty's been locked into Taylor, delusionally locked into Taylor. This entire past episode of him not wanting her as she stayed. She needs to go home. She's not interested in exploring any other connections. Jalen came in, perfect connection. She wanted a country boy as it gets. And she eliminated because she wanted to stick with Taylor, who did not want her. We got Jalen. Then we get Casa Amor. She was with Zach with a K, if I'm not mistaken. But she could have explored any options. I feel like her and Chris could have been a decent match had she entertained it. Zach with a C probably would have been a pretty interesting match. Clearly, if she was interested in exploring the connection with Nick, she don't mind a white boy. So she could have spoke to her some Zach, okay? But anyways, she didn't. She's been completely closed off. And that's why we voted Jeremiah off, but we keep her. It's because she's just one of the girls and they all love her, and so they kept her. Poor Clark, first of all. Also a little bit of poor Taylor, but like I said, I feel like he kind of let her on a little bit, so I feel like there's kind of that fault in it that way. But I don't think she should have stayed. I think they should have chose Coco. So that sucks. Should have been Elin and Coco who stay. Actually, Elin and Coco could have been an interesting match to see, like talking and stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe Olandria ends up talking to Elin for some reason. Who knows what will happen, but she should have just gone home if you're asking me. I like her. It's just the way that she delusionally kept picking Taylor. It was just too much for me. It was just too much for me. Anywho, excited for today's episode. I might watch The After Sun, and if there's anything interesting, we'll talk about it with today's episode tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed my little review. Like it if you did. Comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Olandria staying. Subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.